Good evening, everybody. Nostalgia Goggles 4-3 here, broadcasting live from the apocalypse, from my underground shelter in an undisclosed location where we play some basketball. No suspended season here. Let's get right to it. But our series, happy 1996 St. Patrick's Day. Probably could still buy potatoes easily that year. Let's get our roster set up. So tonight, we are done with the main data gathering phase. One thing we've learned is that Oliver Miller is not a good fit at center with these lineups. We are going to keep trying him power forward later on. But in the meantime, we are playing the Pacers tonight, as you saw. So we are going to try to get 100 points with Antonio Davis, whom we picked up from them trade deadline. So we'll start with the best performing Davis lineup this season. Murdoch, Davis, Murray. Hey, it's what's greatest. 9 p.m. is a popular time for streamers. All three of the ones you follow are live right now. That's interesting. If that isn't always true, I wonder if some of that is other circumstances may lead people to be in their house more or seeking more entertainment. Murdoch, Davis, Murray, Jones, and Davis. So before we get started, 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. They are trying to cure macular degeneration and other such eye diseases. They're doing good work. If you'd like to support them directly, they're in my Twitch profile or in the YouTube description. And Spencer Grace, now that you're here, before we get started, I did want to show you what I got in the mail today. Now I am truly ready to read this thing out. There it is. Yes. Ooh, indeed. Yeah, I've also heard good things about it. It's like the 5th time I've legally purchased Toe Jam and Earl. Yes, I've heard that out of all the retro consoles, this is the one to get. And honestly, I think Toe Jam and Earl is probably my favorite game, like up to the generation that it released. I think it has held up better than almost anything else. Only other one I might make a case for is Tetris, which is also on here. It's got the original Sega arcade version of Tetris, which was produced for the Genesis but never really released. So it's on sale for $40. Sonic 2 holds up, as you mentioned. I actually think Sonic Spinball is underrated as well. As a pinball fan, I think that it is not a pinball simulation, but I think it captures the spirit of pinball better than some of the actual pinball simulations. So your mileage may vary. And I'm already locked on the player is going to 100. So the only thing I need to do is turn up the defensive pressure. And then score 100 points. Those are the only two things I need to do. Whoa, that is a way to get started. Sonic Spinball left you very confused as a kid, like it wasn't anything that you were prepared for. Yeah, I can see that. It's a weird hybrid, for sure. Too platformy for the pinball people, probably too pinball for the platforming people. But even the little touches, like now that I wasn't as interested in pinball as a child as I am now. Wow, right over Rick Smits. Man, it's going to be easier than I thought. Even the little touches, like the simulated dot matrix display posterized. That's why Reggie Miller was in there too. Yeah, they've got the imitation dot matrix display at the top of the screen. It's a 4-player alternating game, just like pinball machines. Wow, man. Antonio Davis making them regret the trade. Mark Jackson puts him on the board. Oh. Oh, hey, now. Pacers playing rough. Who do you think we are, the Knicks? There we go. Murray. Wide open. Beautiful. Yeah, I wish I had gotten the block there. I agree. That would have been killer. Alas. There goes the shutout. That one's for you, Spitz the Greatest. Patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Thank you for your support. Patron and my most reliable viewer. Don't think I don't appreciate our time together. Dangerous inbound pass. Now they're triple teaming him. And it's not enough. You cannot stop Antonio Davis. You can only hope to contain him. Dale Davis gets him too. You even broke away from folding laundry to be here. That is so sweet. Well, and you're choosing me over the other two streams, unless you're streaming all three at once. In which case, hey, more power to you. Yeah, back to the Genesis Mini. I'm just really impressed with lots of like the attention to detail on the whole package there. Just like everything about it. They really, including the game library, like it feels a lot less haphazard than the other ones. Even like the Nintendo consoles, where there's like a bunch of gimmies because Nintendo had so much invested. Wow. Oh goodness. I know. There it is. That did kill my shooting percentage. It's alright, we'll get it back. 8 for 14 is still not bad. Man, could not hit Derek McKee enough. Good layup. Yeah, I know. We'll get it back. Can we get some defense? No, we cannot. This is a shootout here. As you may recall, the Pacers were the team that Dale Ellis dropped 150 on. That fateful day. Before the future fell apart. But anyway, the Genesis, the Genesis mini library just really it felt like someone put together a list and really thought about each and every title's inclusion on it. It's got 2 of the Mickey Mouse games, which were, not my childhood titles. Well, I guess World of Illusion was, but those are beloved games that were part of the Genesis console. And I mean, maybe not quite so much as say Aladdin, but they gave a nod to that. Or Mega Man: The Wily Wars, which was never released in North America other than through the Sega Channel. But that way, if the only retro console you get is a Genesis one, you can still have Mega Man. It might not be the best Mega Man, but you still have it. They put Street Fighter on there, even though they didn't pack the 6-button controller. Just that, the little things like that. They didn't just fill it with every Sonic the Hedgehog game. Yes, I can't believe that even after all this time, in Japan, the Japanese Genesis Mini or Mega Drive Mini or whatever they called it, was packaged with the 6-button controllers, I've read. But the US one was packaged with 3-button. I guess that's part of the nostalgia, right? Comes with the 3-button, you gotta buy the 6-button separately. Yeah, including Tetris is both fan service. Well, I guess I did kind of knock him over. But also, like, the Nintendo mini consoles don't have a way to play Tetris on them. Tetris was such an important part of that era of gaming. I mean, I think everybody played Tetris. I wonder if Nintendo's holding out for the Game Boy Mini or something. Tetris on. Ooh. It just feels so much more curated. What is going on with the score? Well, we are tied. That's what's going on with the score. Honestly, I probably left this lineup in too long. I was, after we posterized Rick Smits so many times early, it seemed like this lineup was better than it turned out to be. Oof. That was not good. We might be down going into the second period. No, that's true. It's just been a shootout. Both ends of the floor. Dunk fest over here. I mean, all the other classic menus, you could talk about glaring omissions. And I don't think there were too many on the Genesis ones. And the ones that are easy to explain. Like, Aladdin is a miss, but, you know, that probably was a licensing. Oh, come on. Probably was a licensing issue. Not having NBA Jam is a loss. But, you know, obviously that was never going to work. Because you'd have to, like... I think with the retired players, you actually have to negotiate individually. So that's never going to happen. No! Could be one of those games when they shoot 80% in quarter one, then 25% quarter two. Indeed. We are down by 6. Really did. I mean, 53% from the field is still not a bad number. We've done better. All right, let's switch it up. So, Stoudemire. And Davis, Murray, Pinckney, and Davis. Not a big difference, but hopefully enough of one. The only other like really iconic title from the Genesis that I think is missing is Mortal Kombat, and they probably just didn't want to get the M rating for the console itself. That was part of the PlayStation Classics missteps, one of many. You know what? I've learned from the last lineup. Already I can tell this is not going to happen. How does it make any sense that an M-rated game from 1991 that would be T today makes the console M-rated? Well, I don't know that Mortal Kombat would actually be T today. I mean, some of the fatalities. I mean, it's cartoonish, but there's still a lot of blood. It's still pretty gruesome. I bet it would still beat M today. But the way that the console works is your ESRB rating is the highest rating of anything on the console, which I mean, if you think about it as like a parental rating thing, that makes sense, right? Like, I don't know how else you'd do it. Oh, that's embarrassing. We all thought somebody else had it. Ha! That bodes really well. The good lineups get more whistles, too, I've noticed. Or more favorable whistles. And fewer unfavorable whistles. That plus the block shot, we have been decidedly short on so far this game. Nice. I think missing Mortal Kombat is a big oversight. Well, a couple things with that. There might have been something else going on. Apparently, the European version only of the console, if you look in the file system, has both Aladdin and Mortal Kombat 2. So I guess those were on the table at some point, but got pulled presumably at the last minute. And the other thing is there's plenty of evidence to suggest that the companies are aware that people are hacking these and adding additional ROMs to them and don't seem to really care. So they might have just figured, let it have the teen rating on it so that it has a T in stores, and then anybody who wants Mortal Kombat will just put it on themselves. Have I made a shot yet? Like a shot? Or have they all just been dunks and layups? When do we call it quits on the 100-point night and bring Ellis to get the win? Not yet. Yeah, they can't miss. But maybe we just haven't found the right lineup yet. Hey, all right. We're going to have to dig deeper. I thought for sure that one of the 3 best performing lineups would do it. But I was wrong. One moment, please. So you can tell I was not prepared even for a contingency. My hubris. Thought I could make lineups better than the gods. Let's see. So we already had Murdoch 1. This is Stoudemire, Davis, Ellis, Jones, and Davis. Okay. Next up. Muggsy. Muggsy will save us. Muggsy, Rustbert. Ellis stays. Pinkney. And Davis. Let's give that a go. Clean some stuff up in the spreadsheet, and impressive. Not the best start. Hey, they missed a shot. Oh, man. So much shoving on that play. No whistles. No, it's not time yet. Our decent lineups have a double-digit plus-minus. So usually about half of our lineups have a double-digit plus-minus in 4 minutes. So, this is nothing. Like, this is half of a quarter to recover with three-point shooting to take the lead. We don't have to worry yet. All right, Muggsy. That one goes to Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Thank you for your support. We'll be fine, Spitz the Greatest. We will win this basketball game. I've already programmed it into the second game for tonight. Our record having 1-1 here, so certainly don't want to have to change that live on the air. That'd be embarrassing. Woo! That was nice. We're still shooting 58%. We just need them to miss. There we go. Muggsy Bogues. Oh, dear. Somebody get the rebound. Hey, what are you doing? Whew. And just like that, we're only down 2. I'm on fire. Tied it up. That's right, you call timeout, Pacers. That crowd doesn't seem very socially distant. I don't know. Whoa! Even the Indiana crowd's cheering for us. They miss him. They know what they had. Lionel Simmons trying to drive in. Former Raptor. Somebody get that board. Thanks, Respert. Just gotta trust the process, but it's the greatest. That's all. And everybody thought we recovered it, except Mark Jackson. Nice Muggsy clip. I assume that was the terrible one and not the good one. Or the terribly good one. Yeah, the play before he threw it off. No, it was before that. The play before he threw it off the backboard, he was very similar. He stole the ball and then went in and took like a normal professional basketball player layup and made the shot. And then that time, not so much. All right. It's a good lead for the half. I'll take it. What a comeback. I know, you just got to find the right lineup. 58 points from Antonio Davis, 8 rebounds, well on his way to a double-double. Mark Jackson leading the Pacers. The time it took you to clip it, I went on a run. Yeah, well, you know, like I said, you just got to have faith. It's the greatest. How much pressure do official NBA basketballs contain? I don't know. 3 pressures, which is exactly the number of patrons I have. Thank you so much. Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Spitz the Great, Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder. Without your support, I couldn't be here. Speaking of support, please support the Retina Foundation Southwest. They're doing the good work. I'm just playing basketball on the internet. Check them out. Trying to cure blindness. There's a direct link in my Twitch profile and in the YouTube description if you're watching this from the... I'm going to leave this lineup in, actually, is what I'm going to do. We can answer that. Well, they're starting to not miss shots again. Whatever. Wow! Oh, man! McKee. 12 points of pressure. I was actually going to go double that. I was going to say 20. So I'm pretty sure it's less than my... yeah, PSI. I figured that's what you meant. Because I believe it's less than my car tires, if I remember correctly. But you might actually be right, because that might be smaller. I do remember once that my wife was telling me when she had coached a soccer team, somebody had blown up a soccer ball. They missed. I don't remember what the numbers were, but let's say it was supposed to be like 2 pounds, 2 psi, and they read it as 20. And then when they tossed the ball out on the field, it actually exploded. But those weren't the numbers. I don't remember exactly what they were. So it's definitely less than a car tire, but I don't remember if it's like a lot less. Maybe you're right. Your guess is probably better than mine. I'm actually going to go 18. I'm going to revise it down. 18 sounds right. Wide open lane. They have not learned. It's a fine assist. Nice. Hey, I made a shot. Like a shot. By the way, I want to hear a horror story about our dystopian digital video game future. I mean, that beats the horror stories about our dystopian actual future. So sure, let's do it. Oh no. Oh, uh-oh. Lost access to your Steam account because your computer erased the password when you brought it into the shop to get the driver issue fixed. Yes, I do remember that story. You all can check it out on YouTube if you missed it. Although I don't remember what game that was. After a few attempts, you tried to reset your password. There you go, Muggsy. Layup this time, all right? Nice. That basket purchased for us by Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Thank you for your support. The email that is linked to the account you no longer have access to. That is on you. You don't know why you never reset it. The email you'd linked to Steam hadn't been in use for at least 6 years, or not, more like 7 or 8. So what does that mean? Is your library just gone then? Six days later, you haven't heard from Steam except for a brief email to verify some information. Wow. Did you have a big Steam library? I mean, obviously, like 8 years worth. No, well, that's good. Rarely use Steam. Yeah, I mean, and if anything, this is something kind of a cautionary tale about just letting email addresses expire in general. Like, I have been trying to switch away from Gmail. I've been using Gmail since it was, I was going to say since it was in beta, but I guess isn't Google stuff always in beta? I think it was like 2005, maybe, I started using Gmail. But I decided I want to decentralize a little bit rather than having Google just control everything that I do on the internet. But I've told people I am never going to just delete my Gmail account. I can't, because as soon as I do, I'm going to come up to a situation like this where I need to reset something, and that's some account that I don't even think about being linked to my Gmail, and then I won't have it anymore. So I've been trying to slowly move things over as I encounter them, but it it's slow going, and I'm never gonna just get rid of it. Back in college, you still use that email extensively. You signed up for Steam for one reason or another, probably a Half-Life 2 reason would be my guess, and then didn't touch it for probably 9 years. You hacked Half-Life 2 because you're a real cool guy. You're the reason we can't have nice things, but it's the greatest. Or that you were broke, yeah. Oh, no. Try that again. There we go. Good thing he is very close to 100. Went on Pinckney. When Half-Life 2 came out, you had just spent $60 each on Doom 3, Fable, and Halo 2, and all three burnt you back to back to back. Yes, I still remember when Fable came out. You were not a happy person, although I still maintain that Halo 2 is probably misaligned expectations of yours. Though I'm not an Xbox guy. I haven't played it extensively. Get there. Nice. So I think he's at 95. Nice. Time out. That didn't help much. Ugh. It was actually a defining month in your gaming life. After that, you retreated to NFL 2K5 almost exclusively for the next 8 or so years. Yeah, you know, that's something that I struggle with in terms of, I mean, obviously, you know, I got the goggles, I'm playing NBA Live 96. I don't automatically assume that newer games are better. Let's take a break here, answer the trivia quiz. Pizza at 12, I'm guessing 18. Oh, 7.5 and 8.5. So it was a lot lower then. So maybe that's what it was with soccer. Maybe they read 6 as 60 or 5 as 50 or something like that. Or missed a decimal. Gonna revise down one, stick with it. That's commendable of you. Yeah, regarding changing games, like honestly, like I really respect and admire the people who do things like only play League of Legends. Because I've never been able to do that, but I wish I could. I wish I could just pick one video game and then say, this is the game I'm going to play. And have that be that. It'd be a lot cheaper. It'd be a lot less, I don't know, stressful is the wrong word. But you know what I mean? Like, it seems like you're always just chasing the next thing if you keep up with the other games. But I've never found a game that compels me to that point. I mean, some of the fighting games have been close. I think if I had a local community to play fighting games with, I might at least narrow it down to like 2D fighters or maybe specialize in like Street Fighter. Or even Smash, although I prefer like casual with items Smash, competitive Smash. Alright, he's at 99. And then what? Do you want me to switch to Alice once he gets to 100? Or stick with Davis? There it is. 100 points. If you're going to pick one game, it needs to be something you can pick up and put down easily, like within an hour. Yeah, I mean, another one that I considered for my one game was, actually, there were some sports games. I considered 2K14. I really liked 2K14. It's the last one. There are far better games than FL 2K5, but there are so fewer that are so good and so self-contained. Well said. I considered MLB The Show as my one game. So I do think sports games lend themselves to that. MLB The Show specifically because of the Road to the Show mode. You can play an entire game of baseball in 10 minutes without simming anything because you only play the plays that your player is involved with. Such a great innovation for baseball games. And beyond that, I mean, I think the only other one I really considered was Tetris. Funny enough, we were just talking about that earlier. Tetris doesn't get old to me. I just don't play it as often, but it's still like when I'm stressed, like that's kind of my go-to like stress reliever video game. I think you could hand me a Game Boy Color and Tetris DX and put me on a desert island or lock me in my house for a few months. It might be okay. I mean, other than the other circumstances, it might be okay from a video game perspective. That is the first 3-point shot of the game to go into the basket, either team. Ah! Yeah, the trouble with a lot of my favorite games is that they do require other people. Like Smash Brothers is not fun single player, in my opinion. Street Fighter gets old really quickly single player. And the thing about Street Fighter too, which is part of the reason I like items with Smash, is if there's a big skill disparity between the players, Street Fighter's no fun either. Like, I'm not a great Street Fighter player, but I've spent a lot of time with it, like more time than most people. And the last time I played it with friends, it was, people who hadn't played it in 15 years. So I was just like picking random players and destroying them every time. And that's not fun on either side. Which is why I think the items in Smash are great, because you can have it makes it so that anybody can be in the game without it being ridiculous, like the Mario Kart or something. You get the right item at the right time, and then you can turn it around. What time is it? Oh, hey, perfect timing. I hadn't been watching the clock, but I didn't want to change things up a little. These guys are exhausted. Murdoch. Oh, I guess Rustbird and Ellis are staying. And Miller's staying. Okay. I guess only Muggsy gets a break. You could never figure Smash out. Interesting. Oh, struggle with the special moves. Interesting. I don't know why either. Because that's supposed to be part of the appeal of Smash, right? Is that it takes the dexterity barrier away. Oh, the only version I ever played was GameCube. Yeah, that is everybody's favorite, except mine. GameCube, I suppose, if you are playing it like it's Street Fighter, you just play on Final Destination and whatnot with no items. It is very good for that. But if you are playing it the way I like to play it, I don't think the stages are well designed. There's a lot of stages in Melee, more so than in the other versions of the game that I've played, where a decent strategy is just in a 4-player match is to just stay away from everybody else and hope the stage kills. That's not ideal. I actually think stage for stage, my favorite level design might still be the original one for N64. That's also the one I spent the most time with, but the one that I played in high school. Not all of us moved up to the next gen with our Dreamcasts. Dreamcast could have been such a great party system if it hadn't died. Yeah. I can get behind that. Oh, come on. Ruined the fast break. Totally ruined. Ah. Pitiful. Awful possession. Fire the coach. Home crowd does not like that call. Respert from miles away. Yes! Figure we have to hit at least one three-point shot this stream. I've been nostalgia goggles for too long enough. That was a nice looking dunk. I think it's a little late for a timeout, guys. Not even 7, just taking it from half court. I've never seen the AI do that before. Much less in a blowout. We have had closer games. Proving once again it's all about the lineup. You were worried about a 10-point deficit. We're now up by 50. I take that back. Now we're up by 50. Get the ball. So hold up. All right. Holding. What was the score after Q1? I think it was 28-34. That sounds right. Something like that. Because he was he was on pace for 100, but just barely. Well, I'm not sure we even get time to take a shot. So they only scored 60 more points the rest of the game. That sounds correct. There we go. Antonio Davis, 135 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. We will see the shooting percentage by quarter. And now we're up near 70 and they're down near 52. Really choked on those free throws toward the end. We had 11 blocks in the second half as well, because I remember we only had 1 block at halftime. And I think they might have actually had 8 blocks. I'm not sure they blocked a shot in the second half. We will check it out. First, scoring. Not a lot, other than from Davis. Three of their blocks did come in 1 possession, that's true. 3 blocks from Muggsy. Good on him. 4 steals, 6 assists. Ellis had 12 assists. Good for him. Now for the competition. Evenly balanced scoring, as often happens for the AI. Unselfish play. We're unselfish on a, season aggregate level. Everybody gets to 100. It's just within a game. Okay. 9 assists for Jackson. All right. Now we'll look at the more interesting part, the shot chart. So by quarter, first quarter, 54%, second quarter, 67%, third quarter, 76%, fourth quarter, 83%. Just kept getting better. Look at the twos, 54, 6, 9, 86, and then not much for three. Rounding error. Gotta see their percentage. All right, let's do it. Let's work through the rest of the Raptors first. Or, mostly Davis. Bird had his nice shot. All right. Indiana, first quarter, 77%. Second quarter, 56%. Third quarter, 48%. Fourth quarter, 32%. The inverse of what we did. They didn't shoot a lot of threes either, but we'll take the threes out of it. Yeah, first quarter, second, third, and fourth. Oof, brutal. Well, I don't know. I think, well, yeah, I guess 50% still pretty good. Just considerably downhill from where they were. Anything else you want to see? Or should we move on to the next? Enjoy these beats in the meantime. Good. All right. Let's do this thing. Now, gonna step out for a second. All right, I'm gonna magically change over the next one. All right, we'll review the other